From the Great North Woods to the Rockbound Coast, this is Good Morning Maine, live in HD with Clay Gordon and Kristen Hosfeld. It's 51 degrees at 6:30. It's Friday, October 18th, 2013. Looks like rain, but it's still Friday.
Which makes the rain a little bit better. Well, thank you, Leo, for that. And Good Morning Maine, I'm Clay Gordon. Kristen Hosfeld has the morning off. Here's what we have for you today. National parks across the nation were eager to open back up to the public Thursday morning. We'll take you over to Acadia. Plus, a man has been captured by police after pulling out a machine gun in a road rage incident in Belfast yesterday afternoon. And Game 5 of the ALCS series between the Boston Red Sox and Detroit Tigers. After a disappointing Game 4, we'll see if the Sox bounce back. Now, that and more local news on the way, but first, here's meteorologist Jim Dickey with your forecast.
Some rain with us here through these morning hours. Your AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by Luigi and Fredericks, your florist for cut flowers, floral arrangements, and plants. They're located at 345 State Street, Bangor, in the Victorian House, across from their former location. Taking a look at the radar and satellite imagery, a quick-moving area of low pressure tracking its way towards us here, rain spreading in. As a result, we're going to see this rain through the morning hours. You see it cuts off the rainfall fairly quickly back behind this, so we'll dry things out through the morning into the afternoon. Still a couple showers left back behind that, some cloud coverage left back behind that, but the main burst of rain and that comes through here this morning. Cooler air will then work its way in, and temperatures headed forward from today will be taking a tumble. We will return to more average numbers than what we've been seeing in these past couple days. So stepping on across the region again, seeing that rain mainly during the morning, and especially as you track further north and west, that's when you get close to that parent low. Along the mid-coast, just a couple showers here through the morning. Temperatures still climbing into the low 60s today. 65 showery in Waterville, 63 in Skowhegan. It'll be a bit breezy here too. That low fairly strong as it does depart. We still keep the winds in place on its southern flank. 60 with rain into over Foxcroft and Millinocket. A rainy 57 into Greenville. Here in Bangor, 62. Again, rain mainly early on. We'll even see some sun break in during the afternoon as drier air sweeps in out of the west behind that departing low. Your marine forecast, a small craft advisory is in effect through late tonight with those winds on the increase. First come out of the south, the southwest, then due west. 10 to 15 knots, waves then building to 4 to 7 feet. Visibility, of course, held down in the rainfall this morning and some fog out there. Into the overnight, we fall into the middle 40s as skies clear out. We do keep it breezy through the night. In the day tomorrow, only at 60, keeping it sunny. All in all, a nice day to start the weekend. Step on through your exclusive AccuWeather 5-day forecast. Like I said, temperatures taking a tumble as we head forward. A couple showers on Sunday, upper 50s, mid 50s on Monday. Temps rebound temporarily as our next system pushes in Tuesday, only in the low 50s on Wednesday.
Thank you, Jim. New this morning, all of Maine state employees will be back at work today. Governor Paul LePage's office announced yesterday that all federally funded state employees who were furloughed during the government shutdown will be on the job today. Those workers will receive back pay for the days they were laid off during the shutdown. And of course, reopening the government also means reopening federal facilities and putting thousands upon thousands of Americans back to work. Governor Paul LePage said yesterday his civil emergency declaration will remain in effect to help with the transition. He's meeting with the Maine State Employees Association discussing how best to return people to work. The governor also issued a statement Thursday saying the shutdown was a result of a failure of leadership in Washington. He says politicians on Capitol Hill forced the shutdown to score political points, but it ended up causing real financial hardship for those caught in the middle. And Maine Senior Senator Republican Susan Collins is credited with playing a significant role in getting the government back up and running. And after becoming fed up with both sides blaming each other, Collins assembled a bipartisan group of 14 fellow senators. The six-step plan that group created became the framework for the eventual compromise. Looking forward, Collins hopes Congress will be able to regain the public's trust.
And there's lots of blame to go around. What I think we need to do at this point is look forward and work together to ensure that we never again create this lack of confidence. I've seen the polling numbers and they're at an all-time low.
Collins adds the group of 14 senators have agreed to stick together and will continue to put pressure on colleagues to craft a long-term budget. Meanwhile, Maine's other senator, Angus King, is now part of a select group of lawmakers named to a joint committee tasked with creating a spending plan. The 69-year-old independent is one of 29 senators and congressmen. The agreement must reconcile the differences between the two budgets passed by the House and Senate earlier this year and must be completed by December 13th. Senator King helped to develop the upper chamber's spending plan as part of his work on the Senate Budget Committee. Turning now to the great outdoors, national parks across the nation were eager to open back up to the public Thursday morning. Aaron Thomas has more from Acadia National Park.
We're driving by on the way to Bar Harbor and it's like, no closed signs, yay!
Gates to Acadia National Park once again open to the public Thursday, as the government shutdown officially came to an end, making for many happy tourists.
We tried to come yesterday, but it was still closed, so we couldn't come in, and we saw that Congress was going to get a deal last night, so we decided to come back this morning.
Even this morning, we were opening the gates at 6 in the morning, and there's people waiting for us to open the gates. It was nice.
We got here on Tuesday, and we've been kind of like on the outside looking in for the last couple of days, just kind of hoping that everything would work out. And then today is the first day that the park is open, and so we came right out.
After being closed for over 2 weeks, Acadia National Park is once again open to the public, attracting crowds from all around the world to see one thing: fall in Maine.
This is our first time in Maine, so I'm not sure when we're coming back, so it's good to make this opportunity while we're here.
Our campsite, regardless, was gorgeous. We've had a great time so far, but we're really happy that sort of the main reason we came was to get into Acadia. So we're glad we're here.
There's a lot to do on Mount Desert Island besides Acadia National Park, and I think the merchants realized that and made good use of that. But Acadia is an integral part of the whole area as well, and we're the neighbors, and we're also a big lure for the people to come and see the fall foliage.
The park roads will remain open to the public until December 1st. In Acadia National Park, I'm Aaron Thomas for ABC 7 and Fox 22.
Authorities have identified a man killed by a passing train down in Portland. They say it was 54-year-old Richard Cobb, who was walking along the tracks near Forest Avenue when the freight train came into view. Cobb apparently stepped off the tracks but did not go far enough and was struck by something on the side of the train. Pan Am Railway's own police force is now investigating, along with local authorities. Police have reportedly captured a man wanted for an alleged road rage incident. It all began yesterday afternoon in Belfast when the driver of a black pickup truck got into an altercation with another motorist. Police say 34-year-old Benjamin Hackberth stepped from the truck and flashed a gun before taking off. Law enforcement throughout the area kept their eyes open for the suspect. This video of a truck that was followed from Hamden into Orono before it was pulled over and checked, and officers surrounded the vehicle only to find out it wasn't the person they were looking for. Police say the suspect was eventually captured in central Maine. He was charged with criminal threatening with a dangerous weapon, failing to submit to arrest or detention, and possession of a firearm in a motor vehicle. And still to come here this morning, Maine Maritime Academy has received their largest grant in school history. But first, another quick check of the forecast. Areas of fog this morning with rain ending, otherwise mostly cloudy. High remains in the low 60s. Partly sunny and 60 degrees tomorrow. Showers may return as early as Sunday. We'll be back. Do you know what Brickleberry is? Tosh Pointo's animated show about state parks? No? Okay. Welcome back. Concerned Mainers gathered Thursday to voice their opposition to new rules poised to impact a proposed mining site at Bald Mountain in Aroostook County. In 2012, lawmakers passed a statute mandating the Maine's mining regulations be rewritten. A few weeks ago, the Department of Environmental Protection released a draft of those rules, alarming the Natural Resources Council of Maine, and yesterday members spoke in front of a DEP board in Augusta.
Mining has a terrible record of polluting the environment, both in Maine and all over the country. And we need strong rules if we're going to do mining in Maine right. These rules don't fit that bill.
The panel will now deliberate and submit a final draft of the rules to lawmakers by January of 2014. And some promising news for the Katahdin region. The Finance Authority of Maine has agreed to give Kate Street Capital a $25 million loan for a wood pellet project. Kate Street plans to build a number of torrefied wood pellet machines on the site of the now idle Millinocket Mill. Finance Authority staffers had originally recommended against financing the project, calling it too risky. The venture is expected to be a significant area job creator. A local school is being honored for going green. The Penobscot Job Corps is the second in the nation to be certified as a Center of Environmental Excellence. The school has reduced its electrical usage by 30% in the last 10 years and has introduced single-stream recycling. School officials say this was done in response to a green nationwide movement.
The students need to understand some of that and basically acclimate themselves to it so that in their respective trades and professions, they're on top of their game.
Job Corps hopes to explore renewable energy sources next. A seafood restaurant will be holding a dinner this weekend to show support for a local family whose teen was recently killed in a car crash. Jasper's Restaurant in Ellsworth will hold a benefit for the family of 15-year-old Taylor Darvaux, who was killed in a car accident in Bucksport on October 3rd. The restaurant will hold 3 seatings this Sunday at 12, 2, and 4. Anyone wishing to show their support is, of course, welcome to join.
My children were friends with Taylor, and also they just seem to be a great family, and we just wanted to show our support.
The restaurant staff does ask that those interested make reservations. You could do so by calling 667-5318. Maine Maritime Academy is receiving a grant from the U.S. Department of Transportation worth more than $1 million. The research grant is the largest the school has ever received and will be used to develop a marine engine testing and emissions laboratory on campus.
The laboratory created by this grant is twofold. First, we are focused on the research and development of practical solutions for emissions reduction and energy and efficiency improvements in the commercial shipping industry. Second, we seek to address vital workforce needs as we educate the next generation of leaders in the transportation industry.
Addressing the gathered crowd, MMA President Bill Brennan said construction of this new facility means his school is continuing to flourish.
The ABS Center will house the research you are hearing about today in state-of-the-art laboratories. The center will be the first academic facility built on our campus in 30 years.
Work should begin on the lab in the spring. School officials are also hopeful that Mainers will vote yes on question 4 this November to help fund a new science facility at MMA. It's all part of a bond that would provide $4.5 million in public funding to be matched by private investment. And still to come here this morning, Game 5, the ALCS series between the Boston Red Sox and Detroit Tigers is up after the break. But first, here's what's going on near you. Welcome back. A big Game 5 last night between the Boston Red Sox and Detroit Tigers. Game
Even
5
here
of
early.
the ALCS series tied at 2 apiece. At the top of the second, Boston's Mike Napoli will hammer a pitch off Anibal Sanchez, and the Red Sox now have a 1-0 lead. But the Tigers, unfortunately, would rally back. Here, Miguel Cabrera would ground into a double play, but Tigers' Jose Iglesias will still make it into home plate. The score is now 4-3. Bottom of the ninth, Tigers with one last chance, and Jose Iglesias will fly out to shallow right field. It's going to be game over. Red Sox win this one, and the Red Sox closer Koji Uhara will get the save. Red Sox now lead the series 3-2. And Tim Thomas facing his former team, the Bruins, as the Panthers look to avoid a third straight loss. We'll pick it up in the second period with Boston up 1-0 and on the power play. And Dougie Hamilton from up top with the slap shot and the 2-0 lead. And in the third period with Boston up 2-1 off the face-off, the puck is loose in front of the Bruins goal, and Jesse Winchester gets it past Tuukka Rask to tie it up. And with a little over a minute left, Riley Smith behind the net, passes in front, Patrice Bergeron can't get it, but Smith comes around and backhands it through the legs of Thomas, and that will prove to be the game winner. Bruins win this one by 1 goal. And a big game for Maine football Saturday, their homecoming affair against William and Mary. And if you plan on tailgating, you want to make sure it's done the right way. Our Aaron Jackson once again met up with the guys from the Family Dog to whip up some pre-football delicacies.
All right, we're at Alphonse Stadium, homecoming weekend this weekend against William and Mary. A big showdown Saturday at 12:30. You want to make sure your tailgate is done right. We've got something special this week.
Yeah, we do. You know, in homecoming, you got to bring your A game. Coach Cosgrove is going to come out here. He's bringing his A game. Reds hockey team is bringing their A game this weekend. So when you tailgate, you got to bring your A game, especially on homecoming. So we're going to step it up a little Maine style. We're going to do New England Steamers with our tailgate, along with a awesome hot dog, one of my favorite, the Chicago dog. Aaron, what we have here with our steamers, we've already started it quite a bit. We start off with a little olive oil, a couple tablespoons of butter, maybe a little more if you like a little, a little juicier, a little fatter, and then a little parsley, onion, tomatoes, whatever you want to put in it. We talk about it every single time for tailgating. Every single week we do this segment. Make it your own. Take it something you take pride in. Use the flavors you like, and especially when you use wine with seafood. Make sure you use a flavor you like. A dry white wine is best. If you like Pinot Grigio, use Pinot Grigio. If you like Chardonnay, use Chardonnay. If you like Merlot, find a friend that likes white wine and have them choose something, because you don't want to use red wine in with your seafood. But everything else, just go ahead and go with that.
And the whole bottle.
The whole
it all
bottle
goes in there.
Yeah, I mean, the alcohol is gonna go off. You're using it more for the steaming mechanism. So put it in there, let it sit for a few minutes. It's going to come back up to a nice little boil for you, and then when that happens, that's when you when you start putting your steamers or your mussels or whatever you're going to do at your tailgating.
All right, and while this is boiling up, we do have Steve Trimper here, the Maine baseball team. He'll be doing some tailgating this weekend, right?
Yeah, we certainly, every football game we're tailgating with everybody, especially the friends of UMaine football. They're great. Everybody does a great job. All the fans coming out this weekend, and it's a big weekend for us. We have, with homecoming, we're actually retiring Mark Sweeney's jersey number 12 is going to be put on the fence and put up in Palmer Lounge, along with our other 4, which is Billy Swift, Mike Bordick, Coach Winkham, and Coach Butterfield. And then Saturday we play an alumni game at 10 a.m. and then we'll have all the alums come on over to the football game. And at halftime, we're going to be honoring Mark Sweeney and the great career he had.
Coach, we're going to, this is you and I. We're friends. We're family. We wouldn't do this. We would never do this at a restaurant. But we're going to go ahead and do this now. We're going to use our fingers a little bit at a tailgate. It's fine because you're with friends and family. First thing is a little bit of mustard going in. Now, Coach, we're going to start with little raw onions. You're going to just sprinkle some onions on top.
All right.
Not going to double dip. Get enough the first time. There you go. Yeah, absolutely. We're going to take some of this neon green sweet relish. We're going to take a nice pickle. We're going to tuck it into the side of the bun, Coach. There you go. Look at this. You're becoming a dog artist right there.
Yep.
All right, you're going to take...
I'm going to moonlight over at the
There you go. Pick up some extra hours. You're going to take 2 wedges, Coach. Yep. Put it right there in the side. And then celery salt. It's the missing ingredient to a lot of different guys right there. I'll help you out there. All right, and then you're going to top it off with 2 sport peppers. We've already cleaned off these steamers. We got all the sand off them, got any salt, anything else off them. Very carefully you're going to put them in. And I say very carefully because steamers, unlike mussels, they're a little more fragile in the shell. Occasionally we're going to stir them a little, really gently again with our spoon. But we're just gonna let them sit for about 6-7 minutes. They're gonna open up really nicely for us. The flavor from that wine, the flavor from everything else is gonna come up through, and it's gonna be a great meal for us here at the tailgate. Now, so what do you do with all this extra broth? A lot of people can take their butter, they'll melt butter and dip it in butter and everything. You know what I like to do? I like to just come in here, scoop up some broth, you know, put it right here, get another mug, bring a couple mugs out with you. You know, there's the onion that was in there, there's the little tomato. Right there, that's butter, that's wine. It's all your little vegetables, your garlic and everything else. And then you just dig right in. Coach, come on over.
I'm gonna not pass this one up, so.